I'm joined now by the US-based national security analyst, Ari Aramesh. Ari, thank you for coming in.
Pleasure.
First off, what do you make of recent developments that we've seen?
There's been a lot of tensions between Iran and the U.S. This is nothing new, but the attack to kill Qasem Soleimani, the most famous or infamous Iranian general who led all the sort of extraterritorial operations for the IRGC, that's the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. He was by far the most potent organizer, trainer, and fighter in the region that organized pretty much all the anti-American elements around one flag, the Iranian flag, to fight against U.S. interests. Now, he got some credit for defeating or for helping to defeat ISIS and so on and so forth. But let's say we took out someone at his prime. The difference between bin Laden and Qasem Soleimani was bin Laden was hiding in a little apartment in Abbottabad. He had zero organizational or operational abilities. This man was at his prime. Iranians retaliated, and they pretty much gave us a little heads up because no one got killed at our base in Ain al-Assad. It left President Trump's hands open not to have to retaliate severely, because had they killed American troops and American soldiers and civilians, then the U.S. had to retaliate. But now with the crash of the Ukrainian airliner, and now it turns out that it was the Iranian IRGC countermeasures that brought down this airliner. A lot of civilians have been killed. The sort of euphoria around Soleimani's quote-unquote martyrdom that brought people out to the streets has now turned into a lot of widespread protests for incompetence and also dishonesty. They covered it up for a couple of days, and they celebrated their attacks against U.S. bases, but then they actually have bloods on their hands now.
What should we take away from the fact that even the Revolutionary Guard have put their hands up? This is highly unusual that they admit guilt. What does it say, or what do you take from the relationship that's taking place between the government and the Revolutionary Guards?
To put these matters into context, not long ago, a couple of months ago, you had widespread protests in Iran over hiking gas prices, 3,000% hikes. Brought a lot of people to the streets, and these were not your urban dwellers. These were not your upper middle class or the middle class. These were a lot of them from the very base or so-called downtrodden that were supporters of the regime. According to some Amnesty International, 650 people killed. Reuters said 1,500 people were killed. So the regime had to deal with that. Then you had the killing of Soleimani, Iranian countermeasures and counter-retaliation, and then this. Regime is starved because of sanctions against it. It feels isolated and cornered. At the same time, it's dealing with some major legitimacy issues on the ground. Question is, what is our strategic option? Not tactical. We've been thinking about Iran way too tactically. President Obama, President Trump. It goes from Carter to Reagan to Bush the first to Clinton to Bush the son to Obama and to Trump. What is our strategy? We have two options. With a regime like that, you can either negotiate open doors, try to reach a rapprochement, let them do what they want to do, and try to, turn away and at least minimize some of the damage they do, or go for it and go after them. Both are costly. Both are extremely painful. On the other hand, this method of let go one day and try to hit them another day, it's not working.
Okay, so what sort of reaction has there been from America regards this pointing the finger of blame, saying, yes, we shot it down, but in part, this is your fault? What sort of reaction has there been from the Trump administration to that? Well,
the Trump administration is definitely not taking any of these allegations very seriously, regardless. That's one part. Second part is the Trump administration, unlike the Obama administration, does not have that international legitimacy and international support and goodwill. One thing the Islamic Republic of Iran is very good at is they never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. And even if Trump has managed to alienate a lot of allies, the Iranian government has managed to alienate those allies to actually come back to our turf now. On this issue, especially after shooting down a civilian airliner, deceiving the people for a couple of days, trying to blame the U.S., we see a lot of not American, but European, Canadian, other allies coming to us and saying, you know what, we're with you. And this regime is very, very hard to be dealt with. So that's the problem. So overall, I'd say the ball is now in their court, in their field.
Ari Aramesh, thank you very much.